obviously, who the hell put me on mute, man? Seriously, I had this whole big. I was giving Unc his praise. I was saying everything nice about Unc, and nobody heard it. So anyway, we're here on the show live on this Wednesday. It's a mid-season report. We're here on the Executives View, orange and blue skies. I got my orange on. I got my fit on. My old school Knicks. We get in the building. Let's get to it, man. I don't do this by myself. I got a slew of execs and people barging into the meeting room, want to get a piece of this New York state of mind. I got my main man Anthony in the building. Anthony, what's going on, brother?
What's up, Barry? How you doing?
I'm good. It's been a crazy day, but we good here. And I got my main man, my right hand man, Joe T in the building. Joe, what's going on, baby?
What's up, Barry? How you doing, man? Good to see you.
It's nothing but orange and blue skies. And then we got the veteran of the group, the man himself in the shadows, leering, peering, and here with us, Unc Chandler in the building. What's up, Unc?
Well,
Just give me that salute. Give me that salute. Get into the frame. Pull the camera down so I can get you in the frame here.
it's all they need to see, bro. They don't need to see none of this.
Wow.
I got a face made for radio.
All right, this is how we do it. That's how we do. We only get half of it, but listen, it's been a crazy day. Keep my family in prayer. It's been a rough day, but we're gonna get through this. God got His eyes on us, and we doing good. All right. So, but with that being said, it's orange and blue skies here, so we got that Knicks talk. It's been, we did our show to open the season. A lot of excitement, a lot of expectation. Got off to a good start. And it's kind of like a up and down, up and down, up and down. But it's been a crazy first half. So I'll kick it around the group. Joe T, I'll start with you, brother. I mean, listen, the first half of the season's in the book. We're at the All-Star break. What did you like? What didn't you like? What did you see out of this New York Knicks squad?
I liked everything up until the 9 losses in 11 games, and then we went on a 8 or 9 game win streak, and then we lost a couple more. I don't know. I guess it's how you handle the struggle, right? Because all championship teams got to handle adversity, whether that's external, internal adversity. Maybe there's a little bit of both there. Seemed like there was some, squabbling in the locker room. I heard apparently, but there's not. So you never know what you hear if it's true or not. But I liked how we bounced back. The trade deadline scared me because I had no idea what the heck was going to happen. Get Giannis, not getting Giannis. Is it going to happen? It's not going to happen. But I'm kind of pumped. I'm sure we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'm pumped for the second half, man. I like that we got some representation, the shooting stars, like we got some representation in the All-Star game. Yeah. Even some old Knicks were there, now in Houston. But we'll see, man. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I like what we got. It's gotta gel. We gotta see how it gels in the back half of the season here. But I'm pumped.
Yeah, I mean, it usually takes a while. It's not a group that hasn't been together. They played all of last year. You had some injuries here and there so far, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. There was a highs. Like I joke with my friend. Shout out to my homie Will, Knicks fan too, from Queens. We used to have a boss that would say, "Keep your highs high and your lows low," right? But like the highs came really high, right, Anthony? We got that NBA Cup. We were celebrating in the streets, and then, like Joe said, we had 9 of 11 games where we looked like absolute dog piss. So it was just not good to see. Anthony, talk to me about the first half of the season, brother.
Yeah, I hope it's not the curse of the cup, right? It was looking like that for a little while there in January, like teams that win the cup then go on a slide after that. But thankfully, they've righted the ship. Yeah, like you said in the beginning, Barry, it's been a roller coaster. Definitely not without its frustrations and imperfections. Of course, every team goes through that. I think it was the GM of the Thunder, good source, reputable source, that said every team is going to go through a period of like a month or so in a season where they absolutely suck, right? Every team goes through that. And so hopefully we got that out of the way in January, because other than the month of January or that first 3 weeks of January, it's just been amazing watching this team. I've never seen an offense function as proficiently in my lifetime on the Knicks that I've seen this year. I mean, scoring 130, 135 points like it's nothing. When the offense is on and the ball's moving and the shots are going down, they're such a fun team to watch. They really are. The defense at times, could have been better. I was worried about that coming into the season. I've always been worried about Mike Brown's team's defense. But they seem to have righted the ship there too in the last couple of weeks. They made some adjustments in their technique, keeping guys out of the paint, the way that they're attacking, better on-ball defense, better pressure. So they seem to have fixed that too, and I'm hoping that that continues. If they can mix good defense with the way that they could score, man, I'm telling you, I don't know many teams that could beat us, if any. I really don't. When we're clicking, we got everybody healthy. I'm so excited. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I mean it's been a roller coaster, right? I mean, we kind of talk about it here and there on our regular show, how they can look so incredibly good, right? And then they can be incredibly frustrating the next night, right? I mean, I try to keep out of the messages with you because that one night I'll be like, "Oh, we back, we outside," and the next night, fire everybody. Why the hell is Mike Brown here? Where did we get him from? Well, I mean, you're always the sage voice in my head to tell me it's a long season to keep calm. So, the first half of the season's in the book. What do you like? What didn't you like so far?
Well, I didn't even look at the Knicks until they were 30 games in. And I told you at the beginning, I wasn't going to look at them until they were 30 games in because I needed Mike Brown. He needed time to implement what he was trying to do.
Right.
We needed time to see how they were going to adjust to him, whether he was actually going to use the entire roster, which he has been, except for one guy we got rid of. I still don't agree with that, but overall it makes sense. He only buried one guy. If you think about the season, he only buried one guy. And then they traded him and got something for him. So it's a wash.
Right.
I think that he took a misstep in Golden State. And I think he did what we talked about. I think he owned it in that locker room because the team seems more together since they had their little, whatever you want to call it, whether you want a players meeting, whether you call it a team meeting, you don't want a team meeting, but they aired some things out, And then you had Josh Hart guys saying, I don't give a damn if Cat scores. I want to see him rebound and play defense. Not in a negative way, positive way. So now he's getting support. Whatever Mike Brown had to do to mend that fence, he did. And the team has slowly started saying, okay, listen, we're going to hang our head on defense because we know we can score. I like what this team is doing. I'm sick of people complaining about Michael Bridges and they don't score all the time. Scoring 140 points a fucking game. Sorry. 140 points a game. I don't need everybody to get 50 points a game. I really don't. Okay, so that nonsense needs to stop. The thing I didn't like was exactly what I talked about when Mike Brown kind of basically crapped on his own team. He dealt with it. His team in Sacramento played defense, so I wasn't worried about the Knicks playing defense. Would they be able to play defense the way he wanted them to run all the time? Because Cat still ain't got no physical shape, which I don't like. He's still in the damn bodegas too much. All right, it's too much pernil, too much arroz con dulces.
Empanadas.
Mofongo, bro. All right, I need you to eat a salad and do some running. All right, because you put pernil juice all up and down the damn court. I need you to
stop falling. Stop falling. Can't take it.
I like the Alvarado trade. I don't know what's going to happen with Sohan, but it makes me worried that McBride might not come back.
Yeah, we'll get to that too. And that was one thing that bothered me. I mean, I do like the trades, but the fact that we might not have Deuce is going to hurt. But I want to tap in real quick on Mike Brown because you brought up a great point, and Joe, you alluded to it. So I'll let you take it, and then we can go back and forth. And guys, get in where you fit in. I don't really care. You're freestyling right now, but I mean that Golden State game was a turning point in the first half of the season, right? Like I think we all talked about it in our own side chat that Mike Brown didn't handle it very well. I thought the dap up to Green, knowing that Draymond and Cat have beef, and I think that situation just was not handled well. I think the team kind of had they kind of rebelled on him a little bit, right? But I think they had a players only meeting. I think Brunson led it, and then it was really about the effort of the team. But that whole time period was a little bit of like, this could fall apart really quickly. So, Joe, I mean, talk to me about that incident and how the team responded after that.
Yeah, I think the I'm gonna compare him to the last coach, right? I think the biggest difference that Mike Brown is that I think he really cares what other players think about him, right? He's like really worried about his persona, right?
Mhm.
Whereas Tibbs just did what Tibbs did. He didn't care what anybody thought about him. Right? I think there was even one game last year, and I think they showed like, the bench camera where he was yelling it hard. He was like, do your effing job. Like he was telling players, do your effing job. He didn't care. Like he just wanted to get the job done, right? And I think people respected him because he was like that, but at the same time, it got him into trouble with he played a lot of players too, rode him too long, right? Mm-hmm. But I think if that was Tibbs in Golden State, that would never happen. He would have been like, that's not my team anymore. Business is business. I'm going to protect my team. And I think the players felt like they weren't done right by in that regard, right? You should have protected your team. You're a new coach. You haven't played with these players. You maybe have training camp and that's it. So you got to come out. You got to kind of earn. You're the boss. You got to kind of earn that little bit of cash, a little bit of respect, from the players. And I think they didn't feel like they had the back. So I think whatever was said in that players only meeting, I don't know, if they were like, you know what, like maybe give it a pass, or we got to play better regardless of who's coaching us. But whatever it was, it seemed to have worked because it reeled off a lot of wins after that, right? But I mean, mistake. Mike Brown made a mistake, 100%. I wouldn't have done that if I was the coach of the Knicks, man. Like, not with these guys. You're trying to earn camaraderie and respect, and that's not how you do it. You don't go and look at the other team and be like, hey guys, a great game. You disrespected us, but hey, let's dap each other up. No, like you do that after when no one's around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like outside the arena.
In the tunnel, right? Or something.
In the tunnel. It's just you don't do it in front of your own team. I don't know. Too early, too soon. Didn't make sense. Not a good look.
Especially a pump like Draymond.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Draymond, yeah.
If it was Curry, that might have been one thing, but it's Draymond.
100%.
He's not very well liked. He goes out there just trying to fight guys. It's not a good look.
It's the optics. Because they do have that beef. And you talked about it too. Like Green and Anthony, they go back. Green is one of those guys that's going to tell you what is on his mind. And he says what we say in our rooms, that Cat is soft. And he doesn't mind saying it to his face. So the optics of everything in that situation was really bad, right? And to your guys' point, and I want you to come in on this too, because it's like, not only does the players have to trust the coach, it's a two-way street, right? So, Mike Brown had to earn his players' trust and respect. And I think that kind of got lost in that moment. And it took a little while to get it back, right, Unc?
Yeah, I mean, this is a man, Draymond Green, that you sitting this, kikiing and showing on 32. He also said that the best player on your team, he basically called him a bum and said that if he came to the Knicks, he would be the best player, that Jalen Brunson wouldn't even be the second best player. This man said this season.
Right.
Season. You can Google it. And now you over there kikiing with him. Bro, seriously? What the hell are you doing? So it ain't even just about Karl Anthony Towns. He basically said your team is full of frauds, is what he said. He said you got a team full of frauds. And now let's go hug on him right after the game. Because that's a good look, bro. But again, whatever he did to remedy it, he did. And that was my biggest question with him, was would he be willing to fall on his sword and own his crap? Because sometimes just in order to get somebody to be able to deal with you and then overlook something you've done, you got to own it. You got to be able to say, you know what, man, I messed up. It ain't going to change what you did, right? It's like, I know y'all got kids, shake kids. It ain't going to change the fact that you did it. Just don't lie to me, right? Just tell me what you did. You're still going to get punished, but it may not be as bad.
Right.
And that's kind of what the Knicks went through with that. And again, I like that they went through it because now there should be nothing else that happens this season that should be able to derail this team.
Yeah, right.
Okay, because that was the derailing moment. If this was going to go off the rails, that's when it was going to happen. And it did, because then you would have talked about having to trade basically everybody for Giannis, and we'll get it next year.
Right. Anthony, go ahead.
And the front office not doing that was a signal that they know what's going on inside that locker room, and they feel good with the fact that that situation's been resolved. And so they feel good going forward with this group. Leon's got a really good finger on his pulse of the team. He knew what was going on in that locker room last year, how unhappy guys were with Tibbs, how the bench players felt that Tibbs was riding the starters too much. Even the starters felt that way, right? So this front office is very adaptable. When they see a problem, they address it. And so them not doing anything at the deadline and keeping everybody together tells me that they feel good about where everybody's heads are at in that locker room. And, they agree with your take, that if that was going to derail things, it was going to be then, but it didn't. And now they're ready to go, so.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your point about the front office, last year, the Yabusele thing would have turned into a thing.
Yes.
Because Tibbs would have just crapped all over him and never, if you looked at when Yabusele did say something, it was always, okay, this isn't the best situation for me. It's not working out, but it's okay. And then when they needed to try, when everybody was like, okay, yeah, bro, it's time for us to try to get you out of here, they actually played him. So people could see that he still had value. Tibbs would have buried him and never played him. Then you never get Alvarado because you don't get to move him for the picks because nobody's going to take for the picks at that point because you devalued him. So even the way they handled the Yabusele thing, right, was different than last year.
And you look at it look at the guys that got buried on that bench last year, like Kolek, right? He's come out and played really well. Like a guy like Landry, it took a bunch of injuries in the Pacers series for him to get minutes, and he started to play well. And he's one of the first guys off the bench this year, a really good, trusted three-point shooter that is a 3-and-D guy that, we were looking for, we were begging for last year, couldn't get minutes, right? And now he plays. So it's a different coaching style that I think they respect, right? And I think that is ingratiated themselves. I thought, the NBA Cup was one of those things where, we got crapped on as fans because you celebrating the NBA Cup. And I said it too, like, I'm not celebrating the NBA Cup because I've been against it, ever since it came out. But it's something that this, as a Knicks franchise, something they needed that, they can hang their hat on. Go ahead.
You got to learn how to win. How do you learn how to win except by winning? This is a franchise and a team full of people who haven't won a damn thing. Not national, other than Taylor Brunson and Josh Hart. I think there are only two guys on the team that's even won national championships. So we got a team full of people who have no concept of winning. So the NBA Cup is important simply because the only way to learn how to win is to win. The only way to learn how to deal with pressure is pressure. You can't simulate a championship game. You can't simulate being down late with something on the line. So the NBA Cup, to me, serves a purpose in that for teams, especially if you notice the teams that have started winning it, were teams that hadn't really won anything.
Right.
Those teams then turned around and went far in the playoffs.
Right. It started to ascend, right, guys? I mean, go ahead. Joe, Anthony, go ahead. I mean, I thought that. Go ahead.
I would say it's like a stepping stone. We talked about this, at work. It's like a little stepping stone. It's a little test. Let's get your feet wet. See what competition's like. Like it's like a mini championship. I mean, I'm using championship very loosely, but it's a mini championship type of thing. And they played well, and they played the Spurs. Man, they beat freaking Wembanyama. So I mean, it was pretty good. Pretty good. He's no slouch. He was playing. They weren't not like they didn't show up to play. They wanted to win too. Money was in the line.
Yeah, he played 20 minutes that game, but it's still a really good Spurs team that's owned the Thunder.
100%.
I mean,
100%. So I liked it. I think to bring it full circle, right? You got that little win, right? And then you went in your losing streak. You learned how to lose, and you learned how to deal with adversity. So I'm hoping now you got win, little adversity. You bounce back, and now we ride back into the back half of the season, and we make a deep playoff run. Hopefully, the championship round. So that's how I'm viewing it, right?
Exactly.
There's nothing they haven't been through almost to date during this season. They've seen the highs of the highs and the lows of the lows, and they know now as a group that they can navigate through all of that, no matter what it is, together, right? And so, and those were high pressure minutes, like you were saying. Those were high pressure minutes in the NBA Cup. I know it doesn't mean anything, but that was a stressful environment, and those guys thrived under that stress. That's going to be so important. And I believe it was the Pacers who credited the NBA Cup last year, even though they lost it. They credited that experience for why they went to the finals. That having been in those pressure games meant something to them come the spring. So hopefully it has the same effect on us.
And like you can look at like an early season tournament in college basketball, like the Maui Invitational, where you get some good teams, you get good competition, you get that experience, especially for a young team, right? Even a conference tournament, like I remember my UConn team, like Kemba Walker, right, getting hot in that tournament, and then taking that all the way through the March Madness. Like it doesn't mean everything in the NBA Cup, but it starts to add to something. You can hang your hat on that. So I thought it was very important. I was excited for it. I didn't want the banner hung up in the crowd, but I was excited for it. So it's all a part of that experience. And I think I think I messaged you guys in channel. I think we talked about it too when Dolan came on the radio and said we're not making any moves, and I was like, yeah, right, because Giannis was out there. But it really speaks to, and anybody can take this up too, of this group giving it a chance to go after the cup. And not after the cup, I mean after the chip. And letting this experience this year play out the way it could. Because you could blow this team up like they did with the first year of Amari coming into New York, getting Carmelo and going absolutely crazy and ruining yourself for a couple years. But letting this group gel, play together with a first year coach and see what you got. I mean, go ahead.
That's why I kept telling you in our group chat, I didn't want them to trade for Giannis. Because in order to get Giannis, you are going to have to give up Bridges. Everybody. You're going to have to give up Diawara. You're going to have to give up Kolek. You're going to have to give up some draft picks. You're going to have to give up Karl-Anthony Towns. By the time you got done, you'd have had 5 guys left and then a bunch of G League. And if they should win a championship. I'm sorry, with 2 guys? Because we know Giannis is going to get hurt again. We know Jalen Brunson is going to have some nicks and bruises and scrapes. He's going to miss games. We know Deuce McBride misses games. So basically, we're down to Giannis and whatever 4 guys we can scrape up from the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Allen, you got any eligibility left? Hey, LJ, you know what I'm saying? I know you actually look like a grandma now, but can you come play?
Nobody want to see that. Nobody.
Allen looked good the other night in the shooting skills competition. He looked good.
I know, Allen. He did miss a couple of shots though. He did miss a couple.
He missed a couple, but he looks like he still got something in the tank.
A little bit. But I mean, the trade that wasn't Joe. Like, I mean, are you happy that the Knicks just stayed pat and didn't get Giannis?
I'm happy that there's still a chance to get him without possibly having to give up what we would have had to give up in the middle of the season, right? If he still wants to come and it's in the off season, we might have a better draft position, right, with the lottery. Maybe we can turn that and some other guys and not have to give up crazy amount of players like we would have to do right now. We had no picks. We had nothing to give except players. So if we get them in the offseason, better chances for us without having – and then if we don't. We still got the squad. At that point, if we won the chip already, I mean, at that point, like, okay, like we won. We already proved we could do it. If we don't get them, because we got to give up a ton of stuff, we don't have to do it. So I'm the more I think about it and the more I see long picture, it was probably the better idea to just get, Alvarado and Sohan and ride it out deep in the bench a little bit, do what you got, keep the continuity going. Right? We're riding a good wave there at the All-Star break. So I'm okay with it right now. He's not going anywhere. He just came out yesterday and said, as of right now, I'm committed to the Bucks. So like, I know he's saying that now because it's the back half of the season, but he's not good. He's not going anywhere right now. So we got to wait till the summer anyway. So I'm cool with riding out what we got. Everyone's playing well. We're fine.
But he had to make sure to
much
throw
higher
in
the summer. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Barry. I was just going to say he had to make sure to throw in that as of right now part though. That was key. He did that on purpose.
Yes.
So, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like his value is much higher in the summer. Like at a mid-season trade, you're not going to get your full potential, your full value, especially if he was getting dogged with that calf injury. You know what I mean? You weren't going to get it, top dollar. I mean, the trade that didn't happen. I mean, you talked about it too. I mean, what you good with it, or what did you want him to pull the trigger?
Well, I texted you guys. I was saying trade Cat for Giannis right now. The problem is the Bucks were never going to do that straight up.
Right.
So I would still love a future where we replace Cat with Giannis, but that was never going to happen now, right? And so, and like you guys said, we're going to have to give up half the team for him, and you're not going to be better off under that scenario. So let's see what happens in the summer. Maybe we don't have to give up as much, or it'd be a better fit then. but this was not the time to do it. Right? So I get it.
No, I just don't think it was, and I kind of agree with you. It definitely that you would have to give up the whole team to get him, but you got a good team right now that was number two in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you mess that up?
Yep.
Give it a shot. You know what I mean? Let it play out. Like I think of all the teams in the East, the only team that better get to the finals is our Knicks. Detroit's not playing with house money, but they're young, right? They're in one seed. They're really good. I think they'll be there, but they're young. They don't have that expectation. Nobody expects much from the Celtics. They're playing with house money, and they're playing pretty darn well until they played us. Holla at your boys. But I mean, like the Cavs, they just look at what the Cavs did. They're hedging their bets on a guy that might be here, and then the next day, James Harden, I don't want to be here. I'm gonna get my fat suit and get me the hell up out of here. You know what I mean? So the Cavs don't really have that, The only team that has that expectation is us, and let it play out. Just let it play out. Win, lose, or draw. Right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, just let it ride. So I'm happy that. Listen, I agree with you. I think there is a future. Definitely, the Knicks covet Giannis, and the Giannis covets the Knicks. That it might happen. But for right now, what's the worst thing that could happen? I mean, I don't think. I think the Thunder are a really good team. I think we could play with them in a 7-game series. We beat the Spurs in an NBA Cup. Like, everything is laid out in front of this Knicks team. Just let it ride out. You got a guy in Cat that's a 24-12 guy. That ain't too bad.
Which tells me, as all the complaints about him, I complain about him because I want him to have some more muscle definition. I want him to stop being so easy to push over. But
I don't want the complaining to stop.
Yeah, with that too.
He complains way too much, man. You blow on him as he's walking by you. He complains to foul.
Every missed shot, he complains.
It's bad,
Everyone. Man. Even the makes, he complains sometimes because he wants the end one. Bad.
He's always doing this. He's always doing this to the ref every time. Always doing that.
And you're not getting calls when you're doing that all the time. You're just not.
No, you're making it worse.
They miss a lot of calls. Granted, he has a point, but when you always complain, you're never going to get the call. You just won't.
But if he played stronger, he'd get the calls. The problem is he flops. Doesn't mean he flops. You're not going to get the calls when you deserve them because you flop. Actually, get in the gym.
He's all over the place.
And when they hit you, then you might get the calls because you're standing there and dude, when I got somebody 6'2", bodying you in the paint, I don't want to hear you complaining, bro, about a charge.
Yeah.
You 7 foot tall, he's 6'2", and he just took you in the paint, put you in a spin cycle. I don't want to hear you at that point. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to shut up.
Yeah, I need you to just get back and play defense.
Yeah.
Who Cat reminds me of? Cat reminds me of Bill Cartwright in this sense. Cartwright was a walking double-double, but he couldn't stay on the court. Couldn't stay on the court. Cat was a walking double-double. He can't stay on the court. Cartwright was injured. Cat's always in foul trouble. Bro. But when we gave Cartwright to the Bulls, that cemented them winning championships. I really don't want to give up Cat because I don't want to gift him to another team and they use him the way he should be used, which is as a third piece, not second piece, third piece, and they win a championship with him. Because, see, that's deja vu all over again for me.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen. But he's just got to your point, he's got to stay out of foul trouble, and he's just got to play ball, man. I get it, dude. You get hacked and you don't get the call, but I'm tired of it. And that's what I think was turning Knicks fans off because we want a tough guy that's going to go in there and just, play through it. Josh Hart plays through it. OG is playing through it. Mikel's playing through it. Why can't you? Like, we don't want to complain. New Yorkers don't complain. We complain, but we don't. We also lace them up and get out there. We'll play in our Timbs. Well, not me because I'm not a New Yorker. Chandler is, but New Yorkers will get out there and play in their Timbs. You know what I'm saying? So, like, get tougher, man. Like, it only gets more heightened in the playoffs, right? Like, it gets harder. So if you can't do it against the Wizards and the Pacers that are playing like dog pool, like what are we expecting you in a 7-game series against the Pistons? who right now have home court advantage. Like games, you're
and
not
I'm
going
gonna
to
hit
get those calls.
And the Pistons gonna hit you, and they're gonna hit you again, and they're gonna hit you again because they got that clown from Rochester. Okay.
Yeah.
And listen,
Jalen Duren's that's a beast.
He's
that
a
guy
beast.
is
He's a tough
beast,
kid,
man.
man. So you
he's
got to
got
toughen up.
That guy's gonna get pushed around, Cat, if he can't toughen up a little bit, man. That guy's just monster. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm worried about Cat falling. He falls so much. I'm worried he's gonna hurt something, break a hip.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude literally, he's like underneath the basket, sliding into the freaking, the padding all the time. It's like it's crazy. And those big strides he takes, it's almost like he uses his off arm too much. Like I don't know, man. I've never seen I've never seen a professional player get so many fouls called on moving screens. I mean, come on, man. Set a screen. You're 7 feet tall, and don't move your feet or your hip to bump the guy.
My son can set a better screen than him. Like, it's ridiculous, dude. Stop moving. Anthony, you see my son play ball. He's
he'll stick him. Yeah, he'll just stick him,
right? But like,
Cat wants no part of it. They're asking Cat to fill a role he doesn't like to play, which is be a physical big man that can penetrate and go body to body. He doesn't like that. No. He wants to just do what he did in the All-Star game last night and shoot threes. That's what he wants to do.
In college, remember, he had Anthony Davis next to him. Anthony Davis was the defender in college, and Cat was the offensive player.
Yeah. Right.
The thing I like, though, is, again, contrast to Tibbs. Diawara, that kid,
watch him.
If we move on from Cat, that kid is the next one.
They are grooming him. You can see it because he possesses a lot of the same attributes that Cat does, but he does it better and more gracefully.
Right.
Absolutely.
He needs to learn how to pick his moments and play within the game, but that'll come with time. But I do love watching him.
He's a willing defender, which is what I love about him. He's a willing defender.
He can shoot.
Even look at the G League roster, bro. We got some long kids there who are willing defenders who can't get time. Dadier, that kid's a willing defender. He needs to learn how to score. He's a willing defender. The kid McCullough, willing defender. Kolek, for all, he's slow. He can't do this. He can't do that. He's a willing defender.
He'll stick his nose in there.
You can't play defense. I just need you to be willing to try.
Right. And I think the fact that the reason that Tibbs didn't play Kolek because he didn't defend and he would get put in the blender a lot. But I think Mike Brown has figured out a way to keep his minutes on the court because he knows he can play, and he doesn't have him doing stuff he can't do on the defensive end. So that's just a style of coaching. Like, you're going to make this square peg into this round hole if you're on Tibbs' team. No, Mike looks at what he has and says, okay, I can use this guy here. I'll use this guy here. And he's done a really good job with utilizing Robinson in his minutes as well, too. When to play him at the 5, when not to play him and have Cat at the 5. Like, it's all about taking the pieces that we have that are good and putting him in the right position to win and to play well. So that's the difference. So I definitely want to tap in on the trades that we did make. We didn't get Giannis, and I told you guys at the beginning of the season that trade talk was not going to go away, but we got 2 dogs in the garden now. Grand Theft Alvarado is in the building, and the Knicks have coveted him for about 2 years on. Like, it's been a couple years when he was 5
years they've been trying to get him.
They've been trying to get this kid, and it can never work out. And I like the Yabusele move in the offseason, but to take that contract and flip it for 2 wing defenders that can help Wingstop on the outside, not have to play heavy minutes and not have to be like, you got to guard the best player every time. And then we need you to score some points on the other end. It just relaxes everything.
Right.
I'll start with you, Anthony. Grand Theft Auto, Jose Alvarado is a Knick and has showed out in his first couple games. What do you like about this kid?
I love that his motor never stops running. And he knows that you don't have to score, although he has been scoring. He's not known as a scorer, but he's been scoring 20 points a game for us. But he knows, he understands there's so many ways you can impact the game without scoring. And he's just a menace, the way he sneaks up on guys from behind, the way he pressures the ball, pressures inbounders. Just we need that relentless energy, especially off the bench. We need that in the playoffs. We're going to be playing teams like the Pistons who like to get their nose in there. We need a guy who could do the same thing. And I think they lacked that toughness. Mm-hmm. And the other night, the best thing of all, he stood up for, I think it was Mitchell Robinson or somebody.
Yeah.
And I mean, this guy's the smallest guy on the court, and he's getting in there and he's looking up and he's challenging those guys. He's getting in their face and he's standing up for his teammates. We have not seen that at all. We haven't seen anybody stand up for Cat when he's getting pushed around. Even when Brunson gets pushed around, there's not a lot of guys sticking up for him. This guy is going to stick up, maybe Hart. That's about it. Mm-hmm. This guy is going to stick up for his teammates, every single one of them. And I love that attitude. We need more of that. So,
yeah.
And the last time I saw someone stick up in a fight was when Van Gundy grabbed Morning's leg back in the playoffs.
I think he's still got his shoelaces.
He got suspended for it.
Right? Yeah. But
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Barry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, that's all I want to just add to that because I was so pumped. I watched this guy play. I mean, I've watched his highlights. I mean, he steals. He gets a lot of steals, right? Love it, backcourt pressure, and said. Mm-hmm. But the amount of deflections, the ball pressure that turns into turnovers that he may not get credited for is phenomenal. That is true championship caliber basketball. That's how you win playoff series, how you win championships. You do the dirty little things that nobody. I mean, dirty, not like dirty play, but you do the stuff that no one wants to do, and he owns it. He takes it on. He loves it. And he thrives in it. He loves it. And the fact he's a New Yorker. I mean, come on, man. Like, this is like a winning recipe right here. Winning recipe. So I'm all about it. He's cheap. He's on a cheap contract, right? So, I mean, when we re-up him, it's not going to cost us that much. And I forget what the math was, right? But we were $146,000 over the apron or under it. Now we're like way under it with this trade or something like that. Yeah. So like it even works out financially. So I'm all about it. Didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to add to what Ann said.
Listen, I don't care. Anybody can cut me off, but go ahead on this trade. I love the trade, and I love the idea that, to your point, when you have a 24-second clock and you have a guy that can pester and pressure the ball, and you don't get into your offense until the 16-second mark, that makes a difference. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you even if you get from that 16 to 14 seconds, you don't get to run an offensive set. Like, little things like that, wears the defense down, wears the offense down, and really starts to shorten the game, right? So that's why you can get from 100 points, you give it up to like 90. It makes a little difference, right?
And that's where Mike Brown's rotations come into play. Because, see, Mike Brown can now literally run 3 squads out there. You can run 3 different sets of rotations out there. So technically, you're running out 3 squads. Yes, some of the same players, but they're doing different things. And Sohan is a guy who will fight. He's a guy who's an instigator. He's annoying, but he's long. He can score. He likes to rebound. He likes to create havoc. Mm-hmm. You give me Alvarado. You give me Sohan. You give me Diawara, bro. You give me Hart, right?
Anunoby's a great defender.
Anunoby.
Right there, that's not a high-scoring team, but they're going to lock some people down for 8 to 10 minutes a game. Mm-hmm. That's 8 to 10 minutes that you are putting the other team in under stress. Mm-hmm. That 8 to 10 minutes early will come back to bite them late because they're not used to being mentally tired. They're not used to operating when they're mentally tired. And now I got this guy annoying me, and I'm tired, and it's frustrating, and the game's late, and it's the playoffs, and I don't know what I got to do, and everybody's yelling at me, and the guard's going crazy, and this dude just won't leave me alone.
It's exactly right. And he's just a gnat. He's just annoying you, a little pest, right? And Sohan, I mean, the key to getting that trade was Joe Baselli waiving his $4.8 million option and being able to have that extra spot to go after a guy that I don't know why he got cut, but thank you, San Antonio, because now we got another dog on the wing that can play defense, doesn't need to score, but can score if he needs to, but we don't ask you to.
Only because they drafted Carter Bryant, right, to play that same position. That was why. Otherwise, they would have kept him around.
They would have kept him, but like, I mean, I would make it work, but like, okay, fine. He's now
too many good players. They have too many good players in San Antonio, and again,
happens. We have all them picks.
They handled it. Nobody even realized that Sohan wasn't playing. First of all,
No, I didn't know
Nobody said
either.
a word. Nobody said a word. They handled it the right way, just like the Knicks did with Yabusele. If you piss Yabusele off, he doesn't give you that option. You don't get Sohan, right?
Right.
The Spurs went to him. He's only 22, bro.
22. Yeah, he's
22.
a kid.
So he can keep him for the next 8 years.
You got his bird rights, I think, right? You have his early bird rights. So
yeah, as guys age out, as the shots hearts, they tend to trend towards, okay, you can't play as many minutes. Now I got this young kid to step up, and I got this veteran who still has the championship DNA now coming off the bench. So again, build it for the future without mortgaging the future, and you're still building in the present. That's a hard line to walk. And you know what? I wasn't sure about Leon Rose. I certainly didn't want Worldwide Wes here. You know that I can't stand that.
Yes.
We don't hear Wes's name anymore. We don't hear his name anymore. We never hear his name, which tells me that Leon Rose said, "Okay, Wes, go sit in the corner, bro. Collect your check. I got this."
And he's got his hands all over it. Go ahead.
Notice how they played the McBride injury close to the vest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Until after getting Alvarado. They didn't want everybody in the league to know the extent of McBride's injury, because then it makes them look a little bit desperate to try to get Alvarado. And then
you got to throw in an extra pick or two.
Yeah, they might ask for more. So Rose played it cool. He said, yeah, McBride's fine. He'll be fine. And it wasn't until after getting Alvarado did they fully disclose all those details. That was brilliant by Leon Rose. Absolutely brilliant.
And I like Sohan in case he doesn't come back. Sohan, listen, he gave the Spurs 12 points a game as a rookie. He can give 15 on a good night. He can give you 30 on a good night.
On a heater, and you don't need him now. You can, because I think one of the things that was really bothersome was McBride was in and out of the lineup, had a couple of injuries. Kolek is a really good offensive player, but can be lost on defense. Jordan Clarkson is a guy that can get you buckets, but when he's not hitting shots, he's kind of a liability. Yeah. Now you got guys that you could bring in Alvarado and Shohan that can get the points. So now it's like, where do you find Shohan's minutes? It's got to come from Clarkson. It's got to be the first one. And then, maybe it's a little bit of Kolek's time minutes, because I think the biggest issue now is you only have so many minutes, right? You got about what? It's about 40. It's 42 minutes per player, right? Times 5. You got all these minutes that you got to divvy up. Whose minutes comes down? I don't mind if it's the captain. Like, I don't need him playing 40 minutes a night now.
Yeah,
like,
I don't need that many minutes.
Exactly. Give me solid minutes, right? Quality, not quantity. You can OG's little dinged up, and it doesn't take too long for OG to get hurt. Right. You don't have to put strenuous minutes on him. Now you can kind of keep him a little fresher for the playoffs. A guy that complained about his minutes in Bridges, that he played too much, you don't have to play as many minutes. You got guys, and these are pieces that they weren't necessarily here, but you had opportunities for them to play last year. Tibbs didn't do it. Now you got Mike. Mike's going to let him play. You got Landry. You got all these guys that can give you minutes and get you through and still be high impact. You don't have to – you're not playing the Pistons every night, even though we do play them to start the second half. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, some of those nights you got the Bulls. And then, you know what I mean? So
and Brunson's not works out the ball anymore, which means that now it's an environment now where everybody knows if you're hot, we're going to give you the ball. You're not going to stand in the corner and watch Jalen dribble for 20 seconds, and then he's going to throw you the ball. Right? So if Clarkson isn't hitting and he pulls them, Clarkson is, okay, I'll give him tomorrow, because whoever's coming in, if they hot, they're going to play. That means if I come in and I'm hot, I'm going to play. So, and that's the thing I like about the mix of people they have is we don't have a bunch of me guys. We got guys who want to shine, but they don't want to shine at the expense of anybody else. And that's a beautiful thing, because you even watch the last game they played against Philly. Pass. Oh, wait, another pass.
Yep. And when the ball is moving like that, we saw that early in the season. This Knicks team is really hard to mess with. And I think the ball started to stick a little bit. Started to stick in Burns' hand. And we do have that lapse, right? We have that lapse. And I think, Joe, you talked about it with me, like where he pounds the ball a little bit and starts to play a little hero ball. But when you gets out of that and the ball moves, we're good. This is the Knicks team that can do a lot of damage. So I mean, I think that's the key to in the recipe for the second half into the playoffs. I mean, anybody can take it. Anthony, Joe, go ahead.
I just want to read this to you because I was reading this yesterday, and I think
Yeah.
I like this. This is the first five off the bench, and this is what I think is going to make us or break us. Right? I think it's going to make us. You got Alvarado filling in for Brunson, right? You got McBride for Hart, Shamet for Bridges, Sohan for Anunoby, and Robinson for Towns. That is a good five off the bench, man. Like I'd put that's some other teams starting five, and some other teams. I mean, that's pretty good, man. I'm pumped for that. So to me, second half of the season, it's how those other five guys, how they come in, how they weave them in, and how they make those minutes go across the board. To your point, man, because I think you can't ride those first five like Tibbs did. You got to give him some breaks, and he's been doing that. But now you have more powerful backups to come in and fill in those spots. I mean, Sohan's what, he's 6'8" or 6'6", or he's a big dude, man. He's a big he's playing point forward. He's a big dude. So that's a demon off the bench for defensive purposes, man. And he can get you some rebounds and points. I mean, I'm all about that. So to me, it's going to be how that second five comes in, how they gel. Right now, I like what I'm seeing. I mean, I love the Alvarado thing. I think that fit perfectly. And I think the Sohan thing is going to put us over the top. I'm really feeling the second half. I'm pumped. When is it? Next Thursday isn't the first game is, right? This coming week?
Yeah, Thursday. This coming Thursday against the Pistons.
I'm ready.
It's gonna be in the Garden.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Did he pass his physical?
About $300, but
what's that?
Sohan passed his physical, right? He's good to go for Thursday?
I think he's good. Yeah. He's good to go.
Okay.
And the break couldn't come at a better time, so you can get him, a couple practices under his belt and get him going. But Anthony, I mean, what do you think about the second half, like how everything's going to fit?
Well, they needed the break. I'm glad you mentioned that because after the cup, it felt like they were playing every other night. There was just no let up at all. And I know every team's got to deal with that, but after the emotional high of the cup, and then you're playing almost, every other night with very little break. I think there was even some back-to-backs in there as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that was part of it too, not to make excuses, but I think they were just out of steam completely, just mentally, emotionally out of steam and all out of sorts. So I'm just pumped that we're past that and take advantage of this break, rest up. I don't think there's a deeper team than us, at least not in the East. I can't name one. I mean, I know we've had trouble against Detroit. They still kind of scare me a little bit with the way they put Brunson in jail twice here. But, I love our depth. I don't think I've ever watched a team that's been so deep, a Knicks team that was so deep. And I don't think there's anyone deeper, at least in the East.
The East, I don't think there are. And like, Detroit should bother you. Detroit should worry you because they're athletic, and what you do against Brunson is what they can do well. Put length on him. Put long, athletic guys on Brunson and slow him down. I think they tried to combat that, right, by not having Brunson bring up the ball, kind of having that high screen at the midcourt line to kind of free him up to get him downhill. Mm-hmm. But now you got guys that are a little bit athletic that can kind of ease that burden off him. Now Alvarado can bring the ball up. Bridges does bring the ball up a little bit too, but you don't have to have Brunson initiate the offense, and you can get into your offense sooner because I think Boston was one of those teams that would have so many pests on Brunson that the Knicks couldn't get into their offense until like 12 seconds on the clock. Yep. So I think Detroit is they're young, they're athletic, and they're not scared. Let's be honest, they beat the crap out of the Knicks. And I know the Knicks haven't been at full strength, but I can't use that excuse. And I don't want to use that. I don't want to repeat of last year when we talked on our shows at the end of the season. I don't know if we can beat Cleveland. I don't know if we can beat the Celtics because we hadn't beat them all year. Mm-hmm. I don't want to repeat of that we can't beat Detroit and we don't beat them all year and then we got to do it in the playoffs. Like we got to start. It starts Thursday on Prime Video. We got to get at home. We got to get up in their ass. Mm-hmm. We got to do it.
Here's the thing. Don't be surprised if you don't see Sohan starting alongside Jalen Brunson against the Pistons in the playoffs. Mm. I'll tell you why. Because he can bring the ball up. He's 6'8".
Yep.
Now you got Cunningham chasing Brunson all around. Now we can tire out Cunningham, right? They don't have anybody that can lock Sohan up. So now you get to your offense sooner. You're tiring out Cunningham. Oh, and by the way, on defense, guess who gets to play Cunningham? Somebody his same size.
Yeah, and it's waves. It's waves because now you don't have to. Because what they want to do, the Knicks want to do to free up Brunson is what a lot of teams do to free up their best player that's being guarded by Wingstop, right? High screens, get him off the ball, get the switch, and now you put Brunson in that pick and roll action that he's at the top of the key guarding whoever it is. Either it's Jaylen Brown on the Celtics, it's Cade, or it's Donovan Mitchell, right? So now when you have these pieces on the puzzle board that are interchangeable, you switch Mikal Bridges, OG's right there. Or you switch to OG, Sohan's right there. So you're just bringing waves and waves on Cade Cunningham, on Jaylen Brown, on Donovan Mitchell, on whoever we want to talk about on the Sixers. I mean, that Maxey and company, that rookie on the Sixers,
it's a monster.
That kid is a monster. Unbelievable. So, I mean, but it's waves, right? Like now you got guys that can match up with them. You don't have to switch and have Hart on them. Not saying Hart's not a good defender, but you don't have to put him in that responsibility. Hit Hart off the ball. He's an off-ball defender better than an on-ball defender. So now you keep him off ball. It just makes everything a lot easier for everybody else, right?
Yeah, it puts everybody in the right spot, and it gives you the ability to have points come from anywhere. Our friend Larry LG from was it Rockets Report, the Rocket Show that we do?
the launch pad, the fake show over there, the fake show.
Yeah, y'all know my brain don't work. He asked, how do we stack up against some of the top Western Conference teams? I'll tell you the team that I don't want to play. The Denver Nuggets. Because we got no answer for Jokic. I don't care.
Nobody has an answer for him.
Or Murray. Yeah.
Well, see, we got enough bodies to throw at Murray. Got enough bodies to throw at Gordon. We ain't got no matchup for Jokic, bro.
I don't know. I saw Mitch look pretty good against the Joker. I don't know.
He still get 40.
Exactly. But isn't that everybody? Like who matches up with the Joker? Like that's really
because he does everything. He's a unicorn. Yeah.
Get into Wemby. You can put a little guy and get up into Wemby because you get up underneath him because he's still going to his body. We know with Joel Embiid, all you gotta do is tap him. He's gonna fall down on my knee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he didn't even play that last game, right? He didn't play.
But when we look at the West, Chet Holmgren is never gonna get bigger than he is. You look at his body type. His shoulders are too narrow. That's the size he's going to be. He's going to get hurt, picked up. You can move him around. Jokic is the one guy, when you look at that team, you say, what do we do with him? Nothing.
You just got to corral him and don't let everybody else get off. Because once Murray starts getting 30 points a game, when Jokic is already getting that triple-double, you in trouble.
Right.
That's a dangerous team.
Give SGA some problems. Because, again, we have enough. Diawara is a demon on defense. We'll put him out there. Right?
Yeah,
let his behind go chase him around and all of that stuff. But what you gonna do with Jokic? That's the team that if I'm gonna say, okay, I think this might be the team where we can't beat in a 7-game series. Because I think all the teams I mentioned, it's gonna be 7-game series. Denver's the one that don't think we could beat the 7-game series.
It's gonna be tough. I don't want to think that far ahead. I want to get past the Pistons, right? Like I really got to be focused on them. Like the Celtics are a solid team. Credit to them. Even having Tatum hurt, they're still playing really good basketball. But in a 7-game series, I'm not worried about them. They can't play with us. If they're not shooting threes and if they're not hitting threes, they can't beat anybody.
That's their whole game. Yeah,
that's their only game.
Yep.
The Cavs, I'm not too worried about them.
James Harden, bro. When James Harden, Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs, they shrink like violets.
Exactly. So, without the blue chew. So, I'm not worried about the Cavs. I'm not worried about the Celtics. I'm worried about the Pistons. I think the Sixers, I'm not too worried about them. They can get hot on the outside and make it hard on you, but I'm not too worried about them.
A short series with the Sixers is the worst. One of those 5-game series with the Sixers, that's when you can get stung. 7-game series, you'll beat the Sixers.
Which I'm not worried about. So, it's the Pistons that we open with them, and we got to, like I said, we got to put boots to ass. We got to We got to take care of them. We got to show them that, hey, you're a good team. You're the 1 seed, but we're coming. And the Knicks don't fall back. Stay in that 2-3 zone, or don't fall back to the 4. Stay in that 2. Stay in that. Really get to the 2 and stay there, and we're good. So,
and then let Bickerstaff be Bickerstaff, because just like his father, he's a choking dog.
Who is it? Who is it? But the second half starts pretty soon. I mean, Joe, what do you got for the second half outlook?
Like I said, I'm pumped to see. I feel like it's a new season, man. We got like all new players, some fresh blood in there, man. I'm jazzed. I'm energized. I'm ready to go. I feel like we can compete. We got that depth now. They're playing well. We're on a roll.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'm going to bring up, no, I'm just trying to be a realist, is that what happens if one of the centers gets injured? Who's gonna? Robinson's on playing every other, not playing back to back. If he goes down, what do we have? That's the only thing that scares me. That's why the Yabusele thing. I'm sorry, Chandler.
Diawara can fill in, and we still have another young long guy in the G League. But Diawara is actually the backup to both of those guys.
Okay, well, you answered my question, because I was like, I don't know who it is. So that was the only thing on my mind. But outside of that, I'm pumped. I'm ready for Thursday. I'm looking forward to seeing what basketball they bring. I mean, I'm believe it or not, the one thing I'm looking forward to the most is seeing how many deflections and steals Alvarado's going to get. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to that, because that, to me, that's what wins you basketball games. So I want to see that intensity, and I want to see it spread like a virus, and I hope it catches and everyone starts playing their tails off, because we will do really, really well if that happens. So that's my outlook for next second half.
Absolutely, Joe. I mean, Anthony, what do you got for the second half of this Knicks team?
Yeah, same as Joe. I want to see those depth players really show how they can meaningfully contribute. Like I said, I think this is the deepest Knicks team we've had, and you want to see however they spread the minutes, but you want to see whoever they bring in there. You want to see Alvarado, you want to see Sochin, you want to see Kolek, you want to see Diawara. You want to see these guys do meaningful things in meaningful minutes, because you're never deep enough when the playoffs come. You need unsung heroes to come in, make a big shot, get a big steal, get a big rebound, whatever. And so I want to see that over these last 2 months of the regular season. I want to see these guys treat these games like playoff games and do big things late in the games that mean the difference between winning and losing. And I want to see them not play with their food. Like, you come off a big win and you're going to play a sucky team the next night. Take care of business. Like, come on. Don't lose to the Pacers at home after beating the Celtics by 30.
When you're a 15-point favorite, don't lose that freaking game.
That was embarrassing.
Just keep your foot on the gas. I know with these guys nowadays it's tough, and they seem to have a tough time bringing it every night. But you have to bring it every night. Now we're getting into the home stretch, the last 30 games of the season or so. Now we got to bring it. It's foot to the floor now. No holds barred. Let's go every single night, and let's go get it. Let's go get our number 3. We need it.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see wins. What do you got for the second half, boss?
I want to see if the Pistons play as well being the hunted as they were being the hunter.
Yeah,
I need to see if they've learned, because they didn't last year. Remember, they were hunted for a minute last year, and the pressure got to them. I want to see what's changed. I don't like the fact that they got rid of Jaden Ivey. I think that's going to come back to bite them. I really do. With the Knicks, I want to see how they incorporate Sohan into the offense. I personally don't believe McBride's coming back until at least the playoffs. I don't think he's coming back till at least the playoffs.
And who knows how he'll be even then.
Yeah.
With the type of injury he had, bro, that could be a month. That could be 6 months. You know what I'm saying?
It was a core injury, right?
It was a hernia, I believe.
Yeah.
Muscle. And anybody who's ever had a surgery where they had to cut through your abdominal muscles, bro,
that hurts,
bro. You don't realize how much you use your core, and you got to just try to roll over in bed. All right, and it becomes a 7-step process. You got to prop this up. You got to lift this, the whole thing. But that, and I'm gonna give y'all quick, easy money for Thursday. Pistons normally give Jalen Brunson issues. $10. Take the over on his points.
Okay. All right, I like that. Listen, I'm pumped for the second half of the season. It's going to be tough out the gate, right? We got some tough games. We start with the Pistons, and then you're talking about going into a gambit of games. You got the Pistons, you got Houston, the launch. Oh well, the launch pad. We're not worried about that. We're not worried about that. But, no, I'm kidding. But I mean, they're a good team.
They got a point guard, so you know
they haven't had one all year. Shout out to those boys that do the launch pad. But you got Detroit, you got Houston, you got Cleveland, you got Milwaukee. It's always going to be tough. But you got San Antonio, Toronto, Oklahoma City, Denver, the Lakers on the road. You know what I mean? Like, you have that West Coast trip that they normally take. I mean, it's going to be tough. But these are games that we can win, and you should at this point expect to win. It's a long way from those starting lineups that had no name centers and bum ass dudes in it. And when you might have one game out of the month that it was close and the Garden was rocking. Now every time you're expecting something good to happen. So I'm here for it. I'm happy for it. Let's just keep that momentum going and heading towards the playoffs. And then, we'll be back before the playoffs start. Obviously, we'll be talking Knicks and previewing that stuff. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to get you guys out of here. It's orange and blue skies, nothing but good times over here. I can't wait for the rest of the season to play out as we head into April, into the playoff season. The Garden will be rocking. Everybody will be rocking. Spike Lee will be there. Who else will be there? Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan will be. Everybody will be there. Yeah, he's a big Knicks fan. I got to give him credit. Ben Stiller, all those guys. So I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Get us out of here. Thank you so much for joining last minute. I know you had other things to do, but we talking Knicks. I know you like to talk Knicks. You're the only New Yorker here. No, I'm kidding.
You know what? Well, I can't blame you because I don't let things go either. You know what? I'm gonna give y'all my quick old man rant. If I hear one more person to whistle doom season, they used to take buses to games on back-to-backs. Now they're flying I don't want to hear nobody talk about these guys are tired. I don't want to hear it. Shut up. That's all I got.
You make a lot of money, man. I wish I was that kind of tired.
No such thing as tired. Yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for popping through. Anthony, it's always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure doing this next show with you guys, man. Get us out of here.
Thanks for having me again. I always look forward to these. Plan my whole night around it. But I really do. I look forward to it. I keep the conversation going. And I'm sure you'll be getting texts from me during these games saying trade everybody, fire everybody. And then 5 minutes later, I'll be like, the parade's back on. So
that's right.
I apologize in advance. That's, what can I say? I'm just unhinged. So thanks for dealing with me.
The highs are high and the lows are low with this game. I love it. I love it, though. Thank you so much for coming through, Anthony. I appreciate you. Joe T, you know what? Get us out of here, brother.
I'm going to leave you with this, man. Defense. That's what wins championships. That's the squad we got out there now with these trades we made. We're playing well. I want to see defense, and I want to see that banner being hung. So let's go and get that. So that's all I'm going to leave you with. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. And I'll talk to you soon, man. Be well.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you. Thank you, brother. It was a pleasure to have these guys in the show. I love talking Knicks with fellow Knicks fans. I only get to talk Knicks with like Rockets fans. Like that's a violation. That's diabolical. Who can talk to these guys? But because all they want to talk about is we don't have a point guard. We got Kevin Durant. I don't want Kevin Durant. And they got bad memories of James Harden. It's awful. So I'm glad to be around my fellow people, my fellow fans. But no, listen, I appreciate it. This is a big week for us. We got the orange and blue skies. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to us. We'll be back at it again tomorrow on the Executive Review presenting Total Sports. The boys will be there. And then this Wednesday, obviously, we have our backstage business. Got a special guest in the building, John Giamondo, a good friend of the show, a good friend of mine, former photographer for WWE, a.k.a. Johnny Photo. So, Giamundo, I can't wait to see you, Johnny. And we got so much going on. There's a lot of stuff going on at the Execs, but we doing this big for you guys. Thank you for rocking with us. And I will see you guys again when the sun is high and the skies are orange and blue, baby. Knicks for life, baby. Holla at your boy. Peace.